Hello and welcome. Today we're looking in on the African nightcrawler bin, and I stated last week that I'm beginning to get it ready for harvesting. So I scooped up all the castings that were here and kind of piled them up over here, and I took out a lot of these. I think they are cantaloupe sprouts, and more are coming in. It's so much fun to watch, really. Yeah, so just going to feed in one area, and hopefully it's going to be a lot easier for me to harvest this particular bin than it was to harvest the European nightcrawler bin, because the castings really are so much lighter and flakier. I don't know what is it about these guys, but yeah, it's amazing. So we fed them here last week. We gave them a fairly large feeding from what I recall. And let's see what they did with it. A lot of babies. These are young worms. And they love cardboard. They love paper. That's what I've been noticing in this particular bin. So there's a large number of them here, obviously, where the food is. I'm not used to seeing these kinds of numbers. Normally they work through the food and then they disappear, but they're here, so I'm happy about that. So what I'm going to do, and I don't know if it's going to work or not, we'll see, but I'm going to put a little bit more castings. I'm going to pile them up here, create more space on this side of the bin, and then start feeding the opposite side. You can see how beautifully rich the castings are, and even though I'm hitting the bottom now of this 45-gallon bin, no holes, no drainage holes, no liquid, and even the bottom castings are super flaky. This is why I truly love the simple composting style of these bins. Whether it's a 14-gallon tote, whether it's a 10-gallon tote, 25, 45, doesn't matter. If I have never had any problems the way I run my bins, never had any problem with excess moisture, with anaerobic conditions of the bin. The castings are nice, flaky, the worm population thrives. So, you know, this should not be rocket science. If it would be, then there wouldn't be so many people, you know, composting with worms, if it would be so difficult. You know, there are a lot of systems out there that tell you do this, do that, don't do that. And I mean, it's supposed to be a fun hobby. And for people like me who just want to compost our trash, it should be an easy and fun activity. So I created a really nice space here, and we're going to start from scratch. So we're going to put our bedding, lots and lots of bedding. It's going in dry because the food is going to give it all the liquid that it needs. And this is some avocado, a lot of banana peels, a sweet potato. This one has not been frozen, so I'm not exactly sure how long it's going to take for it to decompose here, but that's okay. We have time. I already sprinkled it with eggshells, and we're just going to cover this up, dry, give it time to get nice and stinky for the worms. And then we'll just keep adding the food in this area right here while this here stays nice and flaky and hopefully dry enough for me to be able to start doing light harvesting. I'll give it about 2 weeks or so before I start checking and seeing if I can sift the material. I use 1/8 inch screen, so the castings do have to be rather, flaky, so that the sifter doesn't get clogged up. But this is the kind of stuff I get in my bins, and I love it. I love it. These worms do not disappoint. Okay, that's another update. Thanks for joining me.